Hey, good afternoon. This is Lunch with Laura. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Today, we're going to be giving you an update on what's going on with the summit of dating. Oops, sorry, my signal's getting weak. What's going on with the summit with dating, marriage, and divorce in the Black community. I've been working on this summit, putting this together for the past couple of months, and I've had some interesting things, obviously. Oh, sorry. Okay, there we go. Sometimes I've had some experiences. Unfortunately, things haven't gone as quickly as I want to, but this is not always the case. But I almost have a venue in place. I just need to make sure that they have the audio-visual equipment that I need, so be able to broadcast the webcast simultaneously live as we're having it with the live audience. So I want to make sure that I'm able to offer that to you guys. The second thing is I've been talking to some people, just asking them what their opinion is. I've got 3 of the speakers confirmed. I have 2 more that I'm waiting to hear back from. And so and those 2 speakers are actually a gentleman who is a licensed counselor, an African American licensed counselor. So I definitely want to have someone kind of represent, that portion of what they're seeing in the Black community as they are counseling Black couples. So that's really important. And another gentleman who has lots of experience in leading the men's ministry in a large church. And so he would definitely also have some very valuable information that I'm sure that everyone in attendance and everyone who will be on the live webcast would really find an important perspective to be able to share with everybody. Because sometimes, men, you guys just don't really talk that much unless you're kind of amongst yourselves. But when you guys are in mixed company, it's hard to pull information from you. Because I know it's a lot of fear of, someone just kind of jumping on you for saying, what you really feel and all that stuff. And you just don't feel safe. You don't feel like it's an environment where you can be free and speak freely about how you feel about relationships and challenges that you have, and some of the things actually maybe within yourself that you really feel like you have to work on, but you really don't want to say that in mixed company. So I understand that. So that's why it's really important for us to be able to have a panel, and I want to make sure that it's balanced, so it'd be 3 men and 3 women. So to make sure that we have an opportunity to get the perspective for as many sides, and many angles, and many points of view that we possibly can. Okay, there we go again. I'm sorry about that. My internet connection is not so great here. That's okay. We're going to work with what we got. Yay! Okay, so the other thing is, instead of it being the first Friday in January, it's going to be the 3rd Friday in January. So I had to push it back 2 weeks, but that's okay. Actually, I think that would probably work out a lot better for our audience. And the third thing is, I've really kind of put together the flow and the outline of it, and really kind of emphasize, how Black women are socialized to be independent, and how that really plays into a lot of the complaints that Black men have about Black women. We're too independent, we don't know how to be in a relationship, all that stuff. And really also kind of talk about that and how the dynamics have flipped, and how men were saying, okay, there we go. Sorry. And how, that the dynamics of how men are going to other cultures and other people groups outside of Black women. And also too, I want to talk a lot about fatherlessness, and how that kind of plays into a lot of the complaints that Black women have about Black men. How they don't know how to be they don't know how to be in a relationship, they don't know how to be a man, all of those things that really kind of play into a lot of the stereotypes that we hear about, a lot of the stereotypes that a lot of people say that they see are manifesting in the Black community. And it's also important to know too that a lot of the complaints that that I think or I thought were really almost exclusively in the black community. I've been finding out that, other women from other people groups are saying, no, we see that in our community too. And so even though my focus is the black community, it's good to know that it will benefit other people groups who say that they're facing the same challenges, the same complaints, the same things that they're looking for ways to overcome. And that's number 4. The final thing is, I don't want this to be a summit where we're just pointing fingers at one another and saying, no, you women, it's all your fault, and no, you guys, it's all your fault. And us just kind of leaving saying, who's worse out of the two. That would really make me sad if that was the big takeaway from the summit. But the main crux and the main focus and perspective is, yes, we need to find out what the problems are so that we know how to address it properly. But the main thing is to be able to find ways to start to address it properly, find ways to make things better, find ways to fix the very broken way that black men and women relate to one another, and try to chip away at this huge wall of distrust and suspicion and just the general, I don't know where you're coming from, so I'm not going to go there, and I'm always you're gonna have to prove to me that you're okay. Obviously, it's wisdom in having some caution, but I believe that the pendulum has swung so far in the opposite direction that, people have to jump such high hurdles to even get to, first base to really even start to get to know one another, that it is really just such a detriment to both men and women and families, and how we form our ideas about men and women, about relationships, about the decision to marry, what we should look for in people to, that it might be suitable people for us to marry, and how we might have a higher likelihood, a higher risk of our relationship ending in divorce because of the things that we bring into it, the things that got set into our minds and into our hearts when we were children, some of the emotional woundings that we experience as children and even as young adults as we are learning to date and learn what that looks like, what it looks like to get to know someone in a healthy way, all of those things. So we'll be exploring in our summit. So I hope that continue to keep up with my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Laura.Dianne, Dianne. I have 2 N's in my name, my middle name, and .Richardson. So my Facebook page is Laura.Dianne.Richardson. And also you can keep up with me on Twitter, which is, my handle is MoveOn_divorce. And you can also check my website, which is howtomoveonafterdivorce.com. And I'll be releasing more information as we get a little bit closer. I actually have an appointment this Friday to check the audiovisual equipment at the location that I'm really interested in having our summit here in Dallas. But again, if you're not in the Dallas area, we will be broadcasting it on the web. So pray for me, because I want to be able to have corporate sponsors to sponsor this. I don't want to ask the attendees to pay anything to attend, because I want to have as many people as possible participate, and people to feel freely to be able to come and spend their time and share their experiences, their thoughts, their insights. And the best way to do that is to really set it up to have corporate sponsorship. So please pray for favor for me in that area. All right. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your lunch. This is Lunch with Laura, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.